Greetings, Steward. Welcome to Class 6, Third Term, Unit 1, Supplementary Reading, A Childhood in Malabar, a memoir. It was someone's birthday at Ambalathir. I am not sure whose. The day there was a cyclone. Aiton, my elder brother, and I were invited to the feast there that day. Maladikutti took us to the serpent shrine before lunch. We watched Meenakshi Edati setting out turmeric, milk, and bananas for the snakes. Meenakshi Edati was a distant relative of the Ambalathir family. Being poor, she was dependent on their generosity. She was dark-skinned and middle-aged. She spent her time rushing around the house and compound, never stopping to rest, her face perpetually wearing an expression that asked for forgiveness. She had only certain trivial duties to perform, like welcoming the oracle with an offering of paddy when he came in a procession, lighting all the lamps at dusk, churning the curd and taking out the butter for the children, and drawing designs with rice batter on the door. On the day of the Nira festival, there were innumerable servants to carry out all other tasks. However, the family could not have existed happily for a single day without Meenakshi Edati. She was the only one who knew how much paddy should be boiled each time to make enough rice for the household, or how many mundus have been given to the washerman, or when to give the children purgative. Why isn't the snake coming? I asked. Snakes never come out when human beings are watching, child. The black Krishna Sarpam will glide out as soon as we go away, said Meenakshi Edati. I began to feel sleepy after lunch. Maladikutti came back with us to Nalapet. Barely an hour after we got home, we heard the sound of the gale. The wind tore through the coconut palms in the southern compound with a frightening roar. The dry leaves that had collected around the pond swirled upwards belligerently. Branches shook. The seat of the swing that hung from the Ilanyi tree fell down. I wonder whether it is a cyclone. The sound of it scares me, said Ammamma. She asked all of us to sit down in the middle room upstairs and gave us metal dice to play with. Since the light had gone dim, she lit a brass lamp as well. Muttashi called out from the Tekini, the southern room downstairs. Have you closed all the small windows, Kochu? I'll close them, Amme. I'll close all of them, answered Ammamma. We suddenly heard the sound of the rain from the southwest, like a roar of a vast crowd of people. Using all her force, Ammamma slammed the windows shut. Raindrops glimmered on her face. It is not even 4, but it's pitch dark outside, said Ammamma. I want to see Kuttiyappu, said Maladikutti. She'll come by dusk, said Ammamma. I want to go to Ambalathir. Now, this minute, said Maladikutti. I'll send you to Ambalathir as soon as the storm stops. Ammamma tried to comfort her, but Maladikutti began to sob loudly. That was when we heard a coconut palm crashing down. Kochu, what was that? Will the house collapse? That was Muttashi. Don't worry, it was a coconut palm falling. We'll go and have a look at it once the rain stops, let us say our prayers and sit here quietly, said Ammamma. All of us took shelter in the southern room downstairs, as Ammamin's mother instructed us to do. She said this room had the strongest ceiling. The Thekani was flooded, and the water that had collected in the sunken courtyard of the Naluketta, the central hall with 4 wooden pillars, began to overflow. Ammamin and all of us sat on the bed. Ammamma and the grandmothers sat on the rolled up mattresses stacked on the floor, and the servant women took refuge in the makeshift toilet adjacent to the room. Ammai arrived, drenched to the skin, unmindful of the thunder and lightning and driving rain. How can you be so foolish, Bala? What if you fall ill of fever? Asked Ammamin. Ammai laughed. Here is Kuttiyappu, exclaimed Maldi Kutti joyfully. Ammai hugged her. Cheriyamma suggested that we chant Akshara Slokams to forget our fear. Each one of us would have to recite a verse, and the next person would follow with a verse that began with the first letter of the 3rd line of the quatrain that had just been chanted. No one volunteered, though, so Cheriyamma recited from Vallathol's Imprisoned Anirudhan. Ammamma said, I can't remember a single couplet. I hope the house doesn't collapse, murmured Mutashi. As soon as Ammamin and Ammai went upstairs, the servant woman started to wail loudly. She kept hitting her head with her hands while she wailed. What madness is this? Do you want to break open your head? Asked Ammamma. What if I never see my folks again? My Guruvayurappa, I'll never see them again. You can go home tomorrow morning as soon as the rain stops, all right? Said Mutashi. This rain will never stop. It's a whirlwind, isn't it? We'll all die, sobbed the woman. Is she crazy? Asked Mutashi. We heard trees crashing to the ground and a dog whining in the western yard. Ayyo Shankara! What if the cow shed crumbles? Bring the cows in and tie them up in the washing area outside the kitchen, said Ammamma. The cowshed won't fall down. Valiyamma, its beams are quite strong, said Shankaran Nayar, who had gone to check things out. Then let the cows stay here. Then let the cows stay there. There is knee-deep water in the yard now, said Shankaran. We want to swim, I cried. You can swim in the courtyard of the Naluketta, said Etan. I put my hand into the water in the courtyard. It is ice cold, I grumbled. Don't play in the water, children, Ammamma called out loudly. We climbed back on the bed. Someone seemed to be knocking on the door on the southern side. Shankaran opened it. A dog stood on the veranda, dripping wet. Tumbi, the black and white pet dog from Ambalathir. Look, here is Tumbi. He is drenched. Poor thing. He must have come out with Balamani, Amma, said Shankaran. We looked out at Tumbi and he looked at us. He was shivering in the cold. Shankaran spread a gunny bag on the veranda. Lie down on this. In a storm like this, how can we make a difference between a man and a dog? Go to sleep, Tumbi. Tumbi lay down on the gunny bag and looked contentedly at me and my brother. We spent the whole night in the southern room. By the time we woke up, the rain had stopped. It was the sound of a pleading voice saying, Please open the gate, that actually woke me. A young man stood smiling in the waist-high water at the gate. I am from Vadakara. Is everyone here all right? Yes, said Ammamma. We have had no casualties. How did you come, Balan? I started out at daybreak and waded through the water. That's really smart. The number of huts and trees that have collapsed. Fowls lying dead everywhere. Dead goats floating in the water. What a sight. Come in, Balan, and change your mundu. Have they sent us anything from Vadakara? Muruku or dates? I asked. No, child. I have come empty-handed, said Balan, displaying his buck teeth. What a time to ask for murukus and dates, muttered Ammaman's mother. I hung my head ashamed. Written by Kamaladas. Glossary. In Malayalam, Edati means brother's wife. Etan means elder brother. Ammamma means mother's mother. Mutashi means father's mother. Tekni means backyard. Ammai means mother-in-law. Cheriyamma means chitti, auntie. Hearty thanks to all subscribers and I owe a lot to you.